David. He was trying to concentrate on his breakfast and not ruminate on how intimate his brother and his beloved might have been last night. Yes, Claire? Do you think, before we reach the plains, we could rest for a few days? David frowned and raised his eyes from his eggs. Are you feeling all right? Only tired. A delay in Claire's becoming an Indian is a good thing, whispered the devil on David's shoulder. Remind her what civilization has to offer. There's a famous hotel in St. Louis called the Planter's House. Claire's brow wrinkled in disapproval at the name. David hurried to redeem himself. John J. Audubon, Jenny Lind, and Charles Dickens have stayed there. The suites have their own running water. Claire's eyes widened like a child's. Do you mean private bathtubs and water closets? I take it you're interested? Can we afford it? David lowered his voice to remind her of her mother's jewels. You have your own treasure trove, Claire. Then we must use it. He would have sold his soul to keep her smiling like that. We might attend the theater, visit the Natural History Museum or the new Botanical Garden. Even as David spoke, listing the things he knew she'd like best, Claire's gaze settled on Esh. St. Louis sounds perfect. I'll see if I can wire ahead. David tossed his napkin on the table and stood. Claire didn't even glance in his direction. The pain and the fear were behind her. When they boarded a belching steamboat to cross the mighty Mississippi, Claire felt as if she were leaving the underworld. In reality, they were entering another slave state. The name of their hotel didn't let them forget it. Claire couldn't help but gape at the size of the Planter's House. 5 stories high, not counting the observation tower, the hotel filled an entire block. In case they were in any doubt that they had reached their destination, 4 Planter's House flags adorned the corners of the roof, with an American flag at their center. Doric pilasters decorated the limestone facade, and wrought iron balconies sheltered each entrance. David went in the front door to visit the desk, while she and Esh used the side door for the ladies' parlor, which was really for ladies and their companions. When David confirmed she and Esh would have their own suite for 3 nights, complete with a private bathtub and water closet, Claire hugged him impulsively. Oh, David, thank you. You can't know what this means to me. It's your money, Claire, he stammered. All I did was make the arrangements. Thank you, her husband repeated, accepting the key. Oh, but I want to climb the observation tower before the sun sets, Claire cried. David called over a porter. I'll have your bags taken to your room. On account of the running water, Claire and Esh's suite was on the first floor. David had to pass it on the way to his own room. He'd ensure everything was in order, he told himself. He'd confirm that the porter hadn't missed any of their bags. When he saw the sumptuous bedchamber, David knew he'd made a mistake. His body still held the imprint of Claire's delectable curves as she'd embraced him, and his coat carried a trace of her rose hair oil. His imagination conjured the rest of her. He saw Claire disrobing beside the bed, her cascade of honey-brown hair shimmering in the gaslight. She was glancing over her bare shoulder, her lips quirked in invitation. She was turning her naked body just enough to offer him a glimpse of one pert pink nipple. It wasn't an echo. It hadn't happened yet. It never would happen, not in his presence. But David knew the image of Claire in this room would haunt him for the rest of his life. A mental painting entitled, What Might Have Been.